It's the first morning of the Insurance Conference 2015. Risk Africa TV is at Sun City. We've had a fantastic morning with a range of international speakers, and the opening talk was a very exciting one given from Inga Beale, CEO of Lloyds. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you. Good morning.
You spoke about the incredible opportunities that Lloyd sees in the African space. We know that Africa is growing, and in South Africa particularly. Perhaps if you could just talk to a little bit what specifically Lloyd's is looking to get more involved in.
Yeah. Well, Lloyds has a long history of being involved in the South African insurance market, always tended to start off in the marine sector, but we're very much in the complex risk end of insurance. So what we're particularly interested in is the investment in infrastructure, with that 1 trillion rand of infrastructure investment that's going to take place. Also in the oil and gas industry, that sort of complex end of the risk spectrum, that's really in Lloyd's sweet spot.
So kind of speaking to that, Lloyds has this reputation for underwriting really unusual risks. You have this incredible skill set and can tackle almost anything. So Africa obviously it's a risky place to do business. We've got particular challenges around lack of data, lack of information, challenges in terms of skills. How can Lloyd's ability in this regard really assist Africa and help in developing insurance here?
Well, Lloyd's is unique in that it's this market. So we've got a whole cluster of underwriters who get together, which is why we've been very bold and innovative in the past, providing insurance for the first plane that ever took off without any data. Something that I can think of that very recently Lloyd's was involved with as regards Africa was when the Ebola outbreak struck. Within weeks, the underwriters, along with the brokers, had created a product for health workers to come out and work in Ebola-affected areas. We provided the insurance basically without any data whatsoever, but that's exactly the sort of thing that Lloyd's underwriters are known for, and I'm so pleased that we continue to do that.
You shared some very interesting statistics around how increased insurance penetration drives economic growth. Could you just unpack those again for viewers that weren't here today?
Yeah, so we look around the world and we see how much insurance penetration there is. Now, South Africa at 2.4% is still only 2/3 of the world average insurance penetration. And whenever we see low insurance penetration, it gives us some signs that there is an underinsurance. Now, when a disaster happens, when a loss occurs, if there is underinsurance, the government has to usually step in. That means the taxpayer foots the bill. With the world of insurance and the global world of reinsurance, countries that seek to share their risk around in the insurance world will benefit very, very quickly. And we've seen examples such as Japan, where there was only 17% insurance following the dramatic earthquake and tsunami in 2011. There was a huge $200 billion bill actually had to be paid for by the taxpayer. If insurance penetration had been deeper, then insurers and reinsurers from around the world would have footed the bill.
You spoke about the key priority in finding the right talent for Lloyd's going forward. Skills and talent is a real issue for Africa, for South Africa. You also mentioned the Lloyd's University. Tell me a little bit more about that. And is Lloyd's involved in any initiatives in developing skills on the African continent?
So we've launched our Lloyd's University very much in terms of upskilling all of our people, but also attracting new talent. So everybody these days, they're looking for an exciting career and they want to see a career that they're going to continue to learn and develop their own skills. So we've launched this. We've also got a global development centre where we've been inviting groups of people to come to London, to Lloyd's of London, whether they're from China, US, Europe and Africa, to come in and be part of that. And we can then share sort of that deep underwriting expertise that we have in Lloyd's.
We've got the Insurance Institute of Gauteng coming over to visit you in London later this year. I just wondered if you had a particular message for the delegates.
Well, I think it's going to be a fascinating experience. It's a European-wide journey that you're going to have. And I just think you're going to be charmed by the magic of Lloyd's when you visit that underwriting room in London.
Inga, I do have one last sneaky question. Which is that I was at Lloyd's earlier this year, actually, and we did the tour and we saw your office and the big pink couches, and I see your outfit today, and I just wondered, is that you spoke about diversity, you spoke about the need for more women in the corporate sector and the lack at the moment of that kind of equity. Is the pink particularly a statement around that?
Well, I do like to colour the place up a bit because you do walk through the underwriting room and it is pretty full of dark suits, men and women. So I always like to try and bring a bit of colour in when I can.
Thank you very much, Inga.
Thank you.